Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Replay Guitar Exchange is your premier independent guitar store. Being independent is good. With all of the major brands, including new, vintage, and pre-owned, you can find the guitar, bass, amp, or accessory you are dreaming of. From vintage to the newest models, Replay Guitar Exchange can help you find that perfect piece. They have industry veteran expert staff, all players like you down to the owner. You aren't just getting a great guitar, you're getting the Replay difference. Find them online at replayguitar.com and find your dream guitar today.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com, sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum with a lot of life.
Hello, you crazy dead fucker!
Party time!
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. And hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and as always, good to be seen. Izzy Presley back with another fucking podcast. The Mothership Show. Of course, last night was the Izzy Presley Show, and I brought on Ross Engie of Beater Amplification. Got to talk about his amps a little bit. But tonight I got a very special show. Todd Poole from Roxy Blue is on the line and waiting vigorously. So get on, jump on the chat. You can jump in, ask him questions, and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys hit up all the social media at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And, of course, the Facebook page is Another Effin' Podcast. And you can also find me in Hollywood the last Wednesday of the month at Lucky Strike hosting the Soundcheck Live All-Star Jam. Very, very proud to do that each and every month. If you want to donate to the show, you absolutely can. IzzyPresley at yahoo.com is your PayPal. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, going all the way back to Memphis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Todd Poole, Roxy Blue.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing great, man. We got a lot going on, and, man, 27 years. 27 years since Want Some was released, and I'm excited to be back. Frontiers approached us, and it was a great opportunity for us to get back together and make a record and see what we could bring to the table after 27 years. You know, everybody's been doing different stuff, and obviously it sounds different than the first Roxy. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of taste in there, but it's cool, man. It's a cool record, and we're proud of it. And got a lot of stuff going on, man. All this came about with we got together to do we got asked to do a show with Bret Michaels in Tortora, and man, it was at a big amphitheater, and we said, yeah, we'll do it. And, we were just in rehearsals, and, out of the blue, I get a phone call from Nick Teeter from Frontiers, and he's like, hey, dude, we just did this deal with Tora, and want to know if you guys would be interested in doing a deal with us and making a new record. And, the timing was perfect. I just looked at everybody, and they were sitting there. I was like, hey, man, I got an interesting phone call here. And so anyway, we went for it and, made a record. And I played a few gigs, got a few things coming up we'll talk about, and excited about the new record, man. It's a new Roxy, and, it's cool. We're into it.
Dude, I'm really excited because we're going to play a clip of the first song when we come out of the commercial break a little bit later. But I want to go back to the beginning because I guess I didn't realize that first Roxy record came out in '92. For some reason, I thought it was earlier. And you're the only band from the hard rock, 80s hard rock genre. I hate the word hair metal. I can't call it that. Other than Tora Tora that came out of Memphis.
Yeah, Every Mother's Nightmare was based. They actually came out of Memphis based. They
right.
kind of were a Nashville, Knoxville band, but Rick and the guys actually recorded here. But yeah, Tora and Roxy they came out before us, obviously, and great band, still great friends with those guys. So it was 1992, man, and it was a crazy time for us. It really happened kind of fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it really did. When I met Sid, he had Josh. He'd been playing with Josh, our bass player, and at the time, my cousin played drums for us, and so we just kind of put it together. Within a week, we were jamming, and it just seemed to click. So, that's where it started, and, obviously we ended up getting Scotty T to play drums, and it was just a good combination, and it was a weird time, man, because in Memphis, it was a great time in Memphis for rock and roll. The original scene was hot. People were coming out. There were a lot of cool places to play. Back in those days, man, it was super cool because, there were record labels.
Right.
And so, yeah, man, so, we hooked up with a guy in Nashville named Jim Zomal, our lawyer, and, he was shopping. So we lived above, Sid and I actually lived above a studio. And so it was actually a studio, like a pre-production studio on top of a full-blown studio. So we just would rehearse up there like all night and do whatever, and then just go downstairs, and we ended up recording our demos downstairs at Cotton Row Studios with Nico Lears, and that was downstairs. So, playing gigs constantly, and the club scenes were great, and we created a buzz, and back then it was a lot different than it is now. So you had to create a buzz,
right.
and we did, and started getting some interest with some people, and I think one night we were playing, and Janie Lane was in the bar, and the club owner came up and said, hey, man, Janie Lane wants to talk to you. And, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he's over here. So Janie and I talked, and he said he wanted to kind of help the band. He liked us, and, he kind of upped our buzz, so to speak. He's, when people found out he was interested, and he introduced us to some people, and just kind of went from there. I'm still great friends with those guys. So, it was a cool time. Yeah, I wish people these days that, it's a whole different era now with the internet and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's, to me, that's good and bad. I'm a Sound City kind of guy. I like to get in what I mean by that, I like to actually get in a room and, crank it out and play
right.
music and see what comes out, and today's world moves so fast, I don't knock it, we can't change it, but, it was a great experience back then because it was just, good or bad, it was real. But like I said, it happened really fast. I mean, from the time we got together to the time we created a buzz was literally pretty fast. I think we were, from the time we started practicing and getting stuff going, I mean, we literally got signed within we were within 2 years, easy. I mean, It was crazy fast. But, hey, man, if I had anything to tell any band, even today, dude, we practiced like every freaking day, dude. I mean, we had our eye on a prize. We knew what we wanted, and we went for it. So,
well,
it was a cool time.
I think the songs have something to do with it, too. I mean, you have to have good songs, and you guys had good songs.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. You know, as a songwriter, I'm never satisfied.
I know you mean.
You know, back then it was weird, man, because, and this is kind of crazy, but, you know, it's when I look back on this, it's really cool. So, Sid and I lived together, and I would come up with an idea. You know, there were no cell phones back then, dude. I mean, it was, right. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm getting on my, I would stop like at a payphone or something, and I would actually, or wherever I was, and I would call our answering machine.
Oh, that's amazing.
And for all you guys who don't know what an answering machine is, it's a little box that sits beside you in your house and, you know, records messages. But I would actually call and put down an idea, and just so it'd be recorded, and then Sid and I would get together later on and say, hey, man, I got these ideas. Let's listen to Answer Machine. So, and a lot of our songs came up that way. And Sid and I did a lot of the writing back then. And, you know, and Sid was great to jam with. He and I had a natural thing going. It's weird because Times Are Changing was actually a fast song when we first started.
Really?
And, yeah, man. And we had a keyboard player when we first started, like for maybe a month or so, and I was like, yeah, man, dude, this ain't working. Let's slow it down one time. Let's just see what it sounds like. Play it slow. And, man, it happened. So a lot of cool things magically happened back then, and, you know, of course, the timing, we thought everything was rolling great at the time, but, you know, the timing of what we were doing,
yep.
Who was to know that, you know, it was going to be a tornado come through, you know, and
right.
Go, hey, yeah, guess what, man? You're going to have a short-lived career. So,
I did want to touch on the song Rob the Cradle really quick. A song, obviously, you could not put out today because it would be internet uproar about singing about a fucking high school girl. But
dude, it's hard for me to do it now.
Right?
It really is. I mean, but go ahead.
But I was specifically going to more talk about the video and the sound of that song compared to the rest of the record. Because you watch the video, you hear that song, it's like, these guys are just trying to be Van Halen ripoffs. It's like the singer's doing his David Lee Roth thing, and the guitar player is wearing the overalls like Eddie used to wear, and it sounds like Hot for Teacher, blah 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 blah. Was that something that you guys intended on doing? Was that something that they tried to get you to do? Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. So Roxy Blue from the very beginning. I mean, every band has influences, and, you know, all of us had different influences, but we were a very energetic band from the get-go. And so we didn't actually approach it to sound like Van Halen. Actually, you know, I mean, I don't think Sid put the overalls on and stuff like that to be like Eddie Van Halen. I'll be honest, I promise, he never did. We just kind of went for it. Now, of course, I did the splits. I was influenced by David Lee Roth.
Greatest of all time.
I don't know that I intentionally was. I don't think we were really. Well, I can tell you for a fact, we were not trying to mimic any band. I know when Tom Zutaut from Geffen got with us, his idea was to bring. He saw something in us and was like, "Hey, man, we need that old school first album type Van Halen band, and I see that live, and like I said, we were back then, man. We were just young and influenced by these people are saying, "Hey, man, we want you to do this. You're going to do this, man, and we got big plans for you." And I don't think we actually took the time to soak some things in, man. We were just going for it. We just did what came natural. I don't think we ever kicked back and said, "Oh, man, we look like we're doing the thing like Van Halen." Because I know when Rob the Cradle hit the Headbangers Ball thing, that it was what was the thing?
Skull Crusher of the Week?
Well, it was one of the things like it or don't like it. It was called something anyway. So we were 1 point on the negative side of that. But Doug Thaler, our manager, which was Motley Crue's manager, he's like, that the MTV said that they got incredible amount of votes in and calls in, so it probably wasn't a bad thing. But at that point, we kind of understood. We got that a lot when we went out. I mean, live, people dug it. Things were changing. So we got that in a lot of interviews and stuff. Man, hey, man, you guys, it's like Van Halen. You guys are trying to be like Van Halen. And, man, we weren't trying to be like that, but when I look back and I'm like, yeah, man, I see that. I mean, Sid and me are running around. He's got the freaking overalls, and he's got looks kind of like Eddie, and I'm doing the splits, and but man, we stuck to our guns and did what we did, and and it could have hurt us in some ways, and the live thing, but we didn't stop, man.
Right.
The thing is, once we did it, to this day, this is crazy, but to this day, I get on stage. I got on stage at the Bret Michaels show, and I just stood on the riser, and everybody started just looking, and cameras were there, and everybody's looking at me going, he's going to do the split. After 27 years. Well, I can still do it really good. So I just went ahead. Right. I just went ahead and did it. We got some great shots of it and stuff, and and sometimes I kind of wish people didn't expect that of me, because eventually I don't know if I'll be able to. But I'm in pretty good shape still. So.
Well,
hey, man, you know what? That's a great question, because I think the one thing I would like to not defend us at all, because people have their opinions and that's cool. But we were an honest band, man. We're from Memphis, man. We've always been humble about what we've done. We've always just tried to just be the best we could. But there's a lot of bands out there that I think the Van Halen thing, it was very obvious, because they had certain things they did that were very noticeable to people.
Right.
But, I watch bands sometimes and go, hey, man, Steven Tyler influenced, or Aerosmith influenced that band, or so everybody has influences, Greta Van Fleet's out there right now. Everybody's, Led Zeppelin. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, and, if I were to see us now, I guess now and go back and look at that, I would be like, yeah, man, I watched the Rob the Cradle video the other day for the first time in a while, and I was like, yeah, I can see where people said that. So,
right.
Anyway, it's cool, though, man. I'm good with it. Good or bad, they're talking. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I guess my thing with it, too, is, that's not what the entire record sounds like. I think the entire record sounds like you guys. It's just there's that one spotlight track where it kind of shows the Van Halen thing.
Rob the Cradle actually was one song on that record that I didn't really write anything but the lyrics.
Okay.
And I walked in the rehearsal room one day, and the guys had this song, and they're like, "Hey, man, sing something to this." And I did, and I actually said, "Hey, man, this is really Van Halen-ish." "Oh, yeah, man, but we like it. It's cool, man." And I thought it was kind of cool, but then you get to the part where it breaks down, and and you're like, "Yeah, dude, and I'm getting it now." So, but man, Zutot, man, he liked it, and I think his idea was for our band to actually have that kind of image coming out, and we did that, and there were people that loved it, and there were people that hated on it. So,
right.
It is what it is.
Well, it's funny because even if it was a planned thing, that would be the perfect time to do it because that was in the heart of the Van Hagar era, and you still had a lot of Van Halen fans who refused to accept Sammy Hagar, and here's Roxy Blue. You want old school Van Halen? Here's Roxy Blue.
Well, I think that the Geffen team and Tom Zutat, I think all of us everybody was like, the hairband thing. I mean, some of the pictures that were taken, I guess I could look at those and go, yeah, I could see where people could say we were a hair band, but
right.
I don't think that, and I'm not knocking those bands because there were some great bands out there, but I don't think that we were your typical hair band. I think, especially live, and I think that's one thing that Zutot was, looking at us going, there's a musical quality to the band. I mean, all the guys were really great players, still are. And I don't think he wanted us to be approached like that. Well, I think he wanted that old school kind of deal going where there was a little bit more realness in the music and stuff. So, and that's not taken away. There's a lot of great bands have a lot of great success doing their thing and, whatever. So, yeah.
How did you get on the radar of Tom Zutat? Because, I mean, obviously we all know the Guns N' Roses story and, the Motley Crue story, if anybody's seen the movie or read the books. I mean, that guy was the catalyst behind a lot of huge bands. How do you get on his radar?
Well, Jim Zomwalt, our lawyer, we just kind of created a buzz around town, and I guess from what I can remember, I guess Tom heard about the band, and we created a buzz, so a bunch of labels started kind of peeking in and checking us out, and then word kind of got around, and so he came and saw us, and he didn't sign us. He was like, I like the band, so kind of put us on like a, artist, development thing. He has first dibs at us, but, I'll come back to you guys in, 4 to 6 months. Just keep jamming. So that gave us incentive, but in the process and in that time, other labels started kind of coming in, and we started getting a team together. When Janie got involved, a lot of people started coming in town and seeing the band. When we played gigs, and we didn't know who was showing up, So one night we played this place, and there were 2 labels that were there, and the place was freaking jammed, packed, and people lined up outside, and we played our set, and we didn't know this, but Tom had slipped in. He had come in town and slipped in right before we started, and we didn't know it. And so we played the entire set and went back, and all of a sudden our lawyer and Tom come to the back, and Tom's like, hey, man, what's up, guys? And we're like, dude, what's happening, man? He's like, man, great fit. You guys want to be on Geffen? And, man, I can't explain that feeling.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, he goes, well, go out there and announce that your Geffen's a new recording artist. So I was like, whoa, I think I cried a little bit.
Yeah, I probably would have pissed myself a little too.
Yeah, man. So, the thing is that a lot of people don't understand this, and I don't think I did at the time. I think Scotty T and I were talking about this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that we didn't realize at the time the amount of pressure that was on our band, and maybe it was a good thing that we didn't realize it back then, because here's a guy who he signed Motley Crue. When he was Elektra, he signed Guns N' Roses. He signed Tesla. I mean, he was like the hot guy. And then we ended up getting Doug Thaler to manage us, who was Motley Crue's manager. And then they got Mike Plink to produce the record, who's done everybody, but he was still working on Use Your Illusion when we started our record. And so our team was huge, and we started looking back at it. We were talking a couple weeks ago going, man, there was a lot of pressure that we didn't even think. And how do you live up to that? I mean, everybody's expecting us to be the next thing. And I'm almost kind of glad that we didn't probably think about it, because that would have been just freaking crazy, know?
Well, now that you look back and, don't realize how much pressure was on you, talk about after that first record and obviously, the implosion of the 80s rock scene, and you guys are, you're starting to work on demos for the next record, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's gone.
Yeah, man. Well, so they had a lot of things planned for us. We had a killer video that was already being talked about for Times Are Changing, a high budget video. And, then the Nirvana and everything kind of swept in. And, it's weird because I really liked that stuff. I heard the stuff before it came out because they were signed to DGC, which is David Geffen Company. So there was a couple people in our A&R department that let me hear it. And I was like, wow, this is killer, man, So we made the record. We did when everything was kind of done. We did a show at the Troubadour, and Tommy Lee and had all the guys in the crew came except for Mick Mars, and it was in the day that Karate was with them. They did the Hooligan Talk. So we were going to go out with them, and it was like Tommy was telling everybody, yeah, man, we're taking Roxy Blue. So we were kind of excited about that. And I don't want to say overnight, but everybody kind of knows, man. It was like, dude, I mean, with a flick of a switch.
Right.
I mean, the music industry just did about face, man. They just, Seattle was in and LA was out,
Right.
So,
well, even, you could even hear it in some LA music at that time too, like before Nirvana hit, because you listen to Karabi's band, The Scream, sounds nothing like the 80s rock. It had that grungier feel. It was still balls out rock and roll. There's still guitar solos, but it didn't sound like that quote unquote Sunset Strip sound.
Well, no, it's funny because everybody used to say, well, it just came to a point where somebody walked up and said, wipe that smile off your face and get depressed, But, so to answer your question, though, really, so we actually did start working on another record, and we didn't change to change, though. I mean, we were just kind of we had evolved a little bit, and so Scotty and I started writing a lot of songs, and we actually had a kind of pretty much a record done, and Doug Thaler flew to Memphis, and he listened to it, and he really liked it. But he said, look, guys, here's the deal. It's over. I mean, they're not going to push you guys. They're going to put your record out, but they're not going to promote it because they're going to fulfill their contract and everything, but you're not going to get the push. So about that time, I got a call from Janie, and he was like, hey, dude, I'm going to go solo. and the guys are, you know, they're kind of looking at some singers or whatever. They're going to do their thing. You should come out here and do some stuff with them. And
oh, wow.
And I was like, well, and, you know, that's cool. He goes, you know, just come on out here. So anyway, I flew out there, and Sid at that point was out. And I don't want to get into all that, but Sid, it was just, there was some things going on, and you know, it just probably wasn't a good decision, but we got Wayne Sweeney, who I started Saliva with. So anyway, I went out to L.A. and got together and stayed out there with Eric Turner, and we all got together and had a great time. And I wouldn't say I was the new singer for Warrant by any means, but we recorded some cool stuff and had a good time. And you know, there was just some people around me in my management company and everything, and that just said, look, man, you know, and I remember Tommy telling me at one point, hey, man, you know, I love the guys in Warrant, and you know, I think it's cool that you're out here, but Roxy didn't quite make it big enough to where you actually could reinvent yourself, dude. You know, I mean, you could, you're not going to get pegged, you know, Janie, Warrant Janie, you know, that's his thing, you know. I was like, yeah. So anyway, I came back to Memphis, and I took some time off, and then I started Saliva. So.
Well, that's wild. I had no idea about that Warrant story.
Yeah, man. I heard, my friends kept telling me that there was a couple songs on the, like, I think it's Hollywood Underground or something like that were released in Japan. I don't know, man. It was a real blurry time. It really was, man. I ain't gonna lie. So, and I'm really, really good friends with the guys in Warrant. I've stayed in touch with them over the years, and you know, we're still buddies. And actually, we'll talk about it, but we're going to be playing a show with them coming up. So
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're actually playing a show with them. They actually requested us to do it, which is cool. July 19th at the Signal Theater in Chattanooga. So it'll be us and Warrant, and it'll be cool, man.
So instead of going with you, that they went with Jamie St. James. Was that the right era, or was Jamie in there after? I'm trying to think of my Warrant timeline right now.
I don't really remember, man. When I left and came back, I'm not sure. They took some time, and that might have been when they did that. Man, I just went I went the other way.
Right.
I mean, I started playing drums again. Actually, I take that back. I had a band for a little bit playing guitar and singing, but I started playing drums again and started Saliva. So we just went that was a whole nother ball game. So,
wait. Like Saliva, the Saliva band that everybody knows?
Yeah, I put that band together.
I did not know that.
Yeah, man.
Wow. I mean, you said the name. I'm like, no, that can't be.
I was with them to the Grammys, all the way up to we came in second, like that big countrywide, like that contest they had. And so, yeah, I mean, the first CD the one that got them the deal, if you find that one, they changed the cover, but it used to just have a big S on the front that's black, and it said Saliva. Yeah, that's me on drums and singing background and stuff like that.
So the debut in '97.
Well, yeah, but then they came out with Every 6 Seconds was their national debut.
Gotcha.
They had a few songs on that record that I actually co-wrote on, but they didn't list me, and that's a whole other story. We went through a big deal for 7 years, but we settled, so we're good. We're all buddies still. But
that's good.
Yeah. So,
well, Todd, let me ask you this: in that era, when Saliva was coming up, did you, and working with record labels and all that shit, was there any blowback about who you were and what band you were in? Because I had heard stories. I had heard Vito Bratta was talking about this on Eddie Trunk years ago about how it was in the mid-'90s and himself and I can't remember the other player. They had a meeting with the record label and the guys were like, "Oh, dude, this is fucking amazing. We want to sign you guys. Who are you?" And then he goes, "Well, I'm Vito Bratta from White Lion." And they go, "Goodbye." It was like that quick. Did you experience any of that trying to move on?
Well, in my case, I was the drummer with Saliva, and I really tried to kind of incognito that. I mean, it wasn't that I wasn't proud of what I did, but we just weren't that. And so I guess because I was the drummer, when I was with them, we started getting some interest, but I'm the one I got him Brian Coleman, who was Nickelback's management. And so that's about as far as I went. And we ended up, I ended up getting out and starting something else. And it's a big, long story about why that happened. But and I think they ended up getting signed like maybe a year. I know one, Jason Blum was interested in us when I was with them, but that never panned out. So dude, we were whacked out, dude. It was a crazy time, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It was a great time. Right. But it was crazy, and some people ask me, do you ever regret that? And I think I did for a while. Bob Marlette actually asked, Sweeney called me one night, and they wanted me to come back and play, and because I guess some things weren't being done right, and he just never panned out. I got in a bad motorcycle wreck, so I wasn't. It was a weird time. So yeah, man, but man, they're a great band, and they had some great success.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And it did help me out a little bit, that they did good.
Right. I should hope so.
But no, I don't think anybody ever. I mean, as far as I knew, I never heard anything that hurt us because I wasn't up front, and so and I kind of changed my image a bunch. So. Yeah, I cut my hair was real short. So yeah. But I ended up going on after that and doing. I ended up marrying Jimmy Jameson's daughter.
Oh wow!
From Survivor, and which is my wife today. So I went and played drums with him for.
Oh wow!
A while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit that I did. See, this is why you need a Wikipedia page, because I was like, what? I can't find anything on these guys other than the Sleaze Rocks thing, with the short little history of the band. So
you probably can look me up, and there's some stuff on there. I don't know that it's going to tell the story I'm telling you, but it'll tell you what I've done.
Because I'm on the Saliva page, and your name is on there, but there's no link. So that's weird.
Yeah. Even though I'm buddies with those guys, Wayne's the only original guy now, but they're just, that was a real sticky situation that happened, and I don't out of respect to them, and I'm sure they're the same way. We just don't really talk about that. It was crazy what happened, and I'm sure that they were probably advised to. It was hard, I think, for them to go through that because we were still friends, but in the end, it was great. And I was saying that somebody asked me if I regretted that, that I left, and because then they kind of took off about a year later.
Right.
Man, you know what? It did crush me a little bit, but the thing is. As time went on, man, things happen for a reason, man.
Yeah.
They do. And I believe that. I would have never met my wife. I would have never had my daughter. So life has a way of panning itself out. And I'll be honest with you, if I'd have stayed with them, I probably would be dead and not talking to you right now.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you didn't stay with them. So,
I'm glad I'm able to have this conversation.
Oh, dude, I'm having a blast. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a couple commercials, and then we'll come back, and we'll just listen to about a minute of the brand new song, which is called Silver Lining. Before we go to the commercials, first half of the show brought to you by Beater Amplification. That's 2 E's, Beeter. Balls out rock and roll tone. So goddamn quiet. There's no hiss. There is no hiss at all. You got your old school Metallica channel, you got your old school AC/DC channel, and your old school clean-ass Fender channel. Oh, my God, these amps just goddamn rule. 100 watts of testicular fortitude, ladies and gentlemen. Pull 2 tubes, you got yourself a 50 Beater Amplification. I'll be right back with more from Todd Poole of Roxy Blue on another fucking podcast. Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine. And you're listening to Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. And I know Izzy from Cocaine Anonymous meetings. I've actually seen him at the meetings with Ace Von Johnson from, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but Ace has got a bad coke problem. And his sponsor is Josh Todd from, and again, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Josh is his sponsor for Buck Cherry. He's addicted to upskirt porn. And they're both being sponsored by the Eagles. The whole band, the Eagles. Anyways, another fucking podcast right here with Izzy Presley, and call your sponsor. Fucking A.
Show, but I'm trying not to see the light on the dead end road, and I'm standing underneath the sign. Oh yeah, and I can't see why you're bragging on me about the rumors that you hear. One by one, don't make them all disappear. Oh yeah, in between the silver
Silver Lining off of the upcoming self-titled Roxy Blue record. I love it, dude. I love it. It sounds fucking great.
It's different.
Yeah, it is. It's
actually
heavier.
The last song I wrote for the record. So I wrote this record. And I I don't know. I just got in the zone, man. You know, I've taken. I think for the most part, we've gotten a lot of good response from it. And there's been a few of the diehard, you know, 80s, early 90s rock fans or that like the Want Some CD that I don't want to say they hating on it, but you know they don't understand. You know, why didn't I give them a record like that? And
right.
And I'm kind of cool with that. I mean, I'm not mad about it. You know, I've had some people around me go, man, you know, what about that? I'm like, hey, man, you know what? People got their own opinion, man, and I don't drive the same car that I drove in 1992, and I'm not writing the same music that I wrote in 1992.
Right.
And so Sid and I wrote a lot of Want Some, like I told you, and you know, I've been through a whole big deal. I mean, not only with Saliva, but I had a few bands. I had a band called 714 that was out, and just different music. And I think this Roxy record, that song is it's pretty in your face.
Yeah.
And the song is basically about, being in between a negative and a positive and trying to figure out, you know, the way you need to go. And you're in between the silver lining. So, but I think on the new Roxy record, there's something for everyone. And there are some songs that have a little touch of the old Roxy, and especially in our new guitar player, Jeff, especially in some of his solos. It is a little harder of a record, and it's just new, man. You know, I'm always growing as a writer. I love that music from that era, but I can't. I'm not one to tread water. I'm not one to just go backwards. I mean, that's just not who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're moving forward. I don't like making any record sound like the last record I made. And, you know, I mean, I understand that, you know, people are like, well, Frontiers is like, you know, they put out music from that era and that sound like that. And then you guys, you know, come out with this and your first single sounds, you know, one guy said, sounds like Buck Cherry meets, you know, Stone Temple Pilots. I don't hear that, but I think he was just referencing the fact that it's more new age.
Right. Which is also a compliment because both of those bands are fucking awesome.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, you know, that's just, and I think if you look at my history, though, people need to understand that, I mean, you know, Saliva and then my band 714, I just grew. I just did something different. And I'm writing constantly, man. I write for a lot of different stuff. And, you know, I wanted to make an honest record, you know, and I knew that Frontiers was putting it out, you know, worldwide. So I knew, and we all knew that, you know, hey, man, you know, there's going to be some people that come in here and go, hey, man, this doesn't sound anything like the Roxy of old, and then but there's going to be some people that maybe didn't dig that dig this. So I mean, You're kind of in a weird situation. So what I write, I wear my heart on my sleeve, man. I do, and I write from my heart, and I write what I feel, and I didn't want to put out a fabricated, fake record. I wanted it to be real. I wanted it to mean something. So all I ask is, you know, give this record a chance without predetermining, you know, it doesn't sound like, you know, that Want Some. Just listen to it, jam to it, crank it up, listen to it 2 or 3 times, and if you love it, that's cool. And if you still don't get it, then, you know, maybe I'll catch you on the next one.
There you go. Well, I think one of the things too is, you know, Roxy didn't go through that era of, you know, changing the sound to try to fit with the times, you know, because there was what'd you say, 27 years? Since you guys
It's been 27 years.
27 years. So a lot of bands that stuck it out, they tried to change with the times. They tried to fit in. So their music changed at the time. Then they went back to how they originally sound. You didn't. You had 27 years without Roxy Blue. So now you're writing what Roxy Blue should sound like now, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Scotty actually, when I sent the guys and said, look, man, I got these songs, man. Maybe on the next record we'll collaborate more, but I said, this is what I feel. I tried to be honest about it. He's like, man, it's cool, but hey, God, there's some songs on here that are, pretty heavy, and
nice.
We need to be able to please the older crowd. I'm like, hey, man, we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to like what we do, okay? And if we like it and we present it in an honest way, then, if I try to write to just make a certain era happy, I just don't think that it's, I'm doing this because I just love music, and I'm a songwriter. I'm trying to move forward. Just because the name Roxy Blue is attached to it, I'm not trying to be that band. It's not the same band. We have a new guitar player. It's just a whole new Roxy, and I'd like this to be round 2, and and maybe pick up some newer fans. But we have a lot of we've gotten a lot of great response from the first single, and the new single's getting ready to come out at the end of this month. So,
nice.
and we're working on. We have a video shoot actually next week. We were not supposed to put a video out until the third single, which is going to be a really cool video, and I'm hoping everybody's going to dig on that one. But we're going to go ahead and shoot a video for the next single. So it's called "How Does It Feel?" And it's going to be cool, man. I mean, I'm excited. Everything we're doing. We're just doing it. We want to be back out there. We want people to have a good time again. And what's weird? We just did Rocklanta. There was a lot of cool bands there, and Brad Lee's team put on a great show, Bradley Entertainment. But I notice when we go play these places, that all the people there are just having a blast. And it's like, it's so much fun.
It
is.
Then
you sit around and you wonder, like you were saying, all these bands are coming back out from, back in the day, and the Monsters of Rock cruise, all these festivals, the M3 festival, all this, and all these people are having a blast, and then I have to ask myself sometimes, it's like robots. It's like somebody's going, okay, well, look, this ain't cool, so we're not playing this on the radio. We're going to play this other stuff on the radio, and we're going to make sure that you listen to this, because this is what we're pushing, and this is what we expect you to buy, because we need to make the money. But yet you go to these festivals, and you're going, these people still, rock and roll is not even close to being dead, brother. Let me tell you something.
No,
rock and roll will never die, man. That's the core of everything is rock and roll.
Rock and country, the two things that will never go away. We're like the plague. You can't get rid of us.
Music.
Oh, I do too. I am going country.
Country music. There's a lot of country music out there right now that a lot of the rock and rollers went and backed up the country players and said,
absolutely.
Look, I got a rock band behind me, like Jason Aldean. All these cats, man, and it's cool. It's like listening to the music we used to do with a country singer in the front. So, and it's honest music, man. Everybody needs that. I mean, we live in the South, so I'm right down the street from Nashville. So, country music, a lot of these artists from L.A. and stuff, they've all moved to Nashville.
They have.
So,
it's funny you bring up Jason Aldean, because his drummer, Rich Redmond, actually played on what is going to be my first single, and it's a country song.
Right on.
It's like a small fucking world,
Yeah, man, well, country's cool, man.
I love it.
I
I fucking love
do too,
it.
man. I freaking love country music and I love rock and roll. I like anything that sounds good and that's honest, but I don't. It's weird, man. I real quick, I'll tell you, this is real funny. I was out one night, and these kids were like in a group talking, and somebody I knew was talking to them, and he introduced me to them. And I was like, "Hey, man," it's like, "Yeah, these guys got a new record they just released that they recorded and stuff." I was like, "Cool, man. What did you do?" "Well, we did it." I said, "Okay, cool. Well, when are y'all playing?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, are y'all playing live?" "Well, we don't really play instruments."
Ugh.
And I was like, okay, so they recorded a record with computer and stuff and all that. I was like, man, dude, it is changing, brother.
Well, you know what, though, Todd? It's funny. I mean, I unfortunately have to drive Lyft, and I've been encountering a lot of younger, mid-20s kids, especially the girls, that are like, God, I can't handle that pop shit. I like instruments. I like people that play their fucking instruments. I love 80s rock. I love classic rock. I love all that stuff because I like people who play instruments. It's like, God damn it, I love you. I love you.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
What's funny you mention that. I actually manage. I took over a mentor and managing what I call give and bag, but there was these three young men. They're called Under the Radar, and they're only 15 now. Well, 15 to 16. They brought me into. I got with them when they were like 11 and 12. And they were incredible. I mean, and I'm talking. They came from classic rock, but they played cover songs, and so one of the parents I knew, and they said, "Man, come check these guys out, and man, we want you to write for them and help them write and stuff. They want to be original." So anyway, it worked out cool, and I've been with them for like 4 years now.
That's
and
awesome.
They've opened for everybody from L.A. Guns to Saliva to Kansas to 38 Special to Bret Michaels. I mean, dude, they're freaking incredible. And now they're writing a lot more of their own stuff.
I love it.
They've won number one in all kind of regional contests around the country. They've been number one on several radio stations for like 6-7 weeks.
Wow. Love it.
They're insane, dude. I mean, like, when I tell you they're insane, they're like freaking crazy good. So I had a lot to do with that, and so they're like that. To watch those kids play their instruments, man, and just be real and like get in a room together and like just beat it up. It's awesome.
I fucking love it.
I applaud that, man, and it's good to see kids today. And I see I think School of Rock has helped a lot of kids, do that, and a lot of the School of Rock stuff goes. They're getting the kids to play like Deep Purple and AC/DC and stuff.
That's where it all starts. That's where it all starts.
Man.
And look, that's what I love about Greta Van Fleet. Oh, they don't like Led Zeppelin. Who cares? It's getting young kids back into fucking rock and roll, and I'm all about that. You know what I mean?
And they're good, dude. They're good, dude.
Absolutely.
And think about pressure. Talk about pressure.
Oh, my God.
Dude, those kids are handling the pressure very, very good because they hit really quick, man.
Yep.
And they're taking a beating from like big time situations, magazines, whatever, but they're handling it, man. They're like, well, that's fine, dude. We're still we're glad you're saying the things you're saying, but we got to go now because we're getting ready to go play in front of 10,000 people.
Right,
okay,
exactly.
We'll see you later.
I mean, and think about it. Being the age that they're at right now, they've got a whole generation of this genre on their backs, carrying them, over the finish line. Because there's a lot of bands that are starting to get looked at now in the southern rock, rock and roll genre, riff rock genre that are young, and it's all because of Greta Van Fleet.
Well, yeah, it's because they gave people a reason to, we got rock and roll back on the radio, and it's like, hey man, rock and roll, man, that's cool. So there's kids out there going, wow, man, I like this rock and roll. I've been like sitting there listening to this pop stuff, and you know, I don't like to knock any kind of music. I really don't. I feel like anybody that's trying to do music is okay with me. But when I can't tell bands apart, it starts bugging me, man.
Right.
That to me, it's like good or bad. I need to hear something that doesn't sound like the next guy. You know.
Right. Which is kind of what you did with your record.
Yeah, I mean, even the Want Some record, I mean, we didn't sound like Van Halen. My voice didn't sound like David Lee Roth. So that I think the one thing is good or bad, it was an originality thing, and but you know, the new stuff, the new record, our new record. When you hear the whole thing, which comes out August 9th,
yes,
it's a different sounding record, but you put it on and it does not sound like, I don't think it sounds like anybody. I mean, I've had people, you know, it's hard for me to judge anything when I'm doing it, you know, so I just I'm already writing songs for the next record. So.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, that's the thing.
Man,
that's
I try
the
to
thing.
stay on it.
Everybody's going to hear something and compare it to something else. You know, it's like
I mean,
clockwork.
everybody's stolen too. Every musician steals. You can call it stealing, or bought or whatever. Even Zeppelin, everybody, from blues. But you have to be influenced by something.
Absolutely.
So if you look at it in a positive way, it's taking something and enhancing it and putting it into your stuff. There is no musician out there that did not learn from somebody that influenced them to play the way they play.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, even Eddie Van Halen, yes, sure, Eddie Van Halen had his the originality, you know, of the way he played guitar before anybody else, but he didn't just wake up one day and go, well, I'm going to do this and I'm not going to listen to anybody. Somebody influenced him to have an emotion, and then he just took that and made it his own. So you have to learn from other people. It's just a given. I mean, if you did, that's what music does. Music is the most powerful thing in the world, man. It will make you feel sad. It will bring you up when you feel bad. So everybody has to have music. If the world didn't have music, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine.
I can't even imagine either. And you're in a fucking music city in beautiful Memphis, Tennessee, baby. Home of the king of rock and roll. So
king of rock and roll, baby.
That's right. Well, dude, I hate to cut this, but I do have to get out and actually work this evening. But Todd, I could talk to you for fucking hours, man. I love this. You gonna be out in LA anytime?
Man, we're working on some stuff, man. And as soon as when I find out, I'm working on getting out that way and doing some shows. So as soon as we find out some stuff, you'll be the first to know.
I love it, man. We'll get you in studio, and anybody, you know, if you want to. So the record comes out on the 9th of August. They can pre-order it right now, and they get the first single and the other singles as they come out.
Yeah, the first single's out. The second single's getting ready to come out, and then we'll have our third single. But then the album comes out August 9th on Frontiers. You can go on the website of Frontiers and pre-order. And, man, we got the show coming up with Warrant in Chattanooga. If anybody's in that area, you know, it's July 19th. Got a couple new videos getting ready to hit. So
love it.
Get on the social media and check it out. And hope everybody likes it. And hopefully we can get to a city near you soon.
I love it, man, and hopefully someday you end up on the Monsters of Rock cruise, because I host karaoke on that motherfucker, and we can party a little bit.
We're working on it right now, man. We're really seriously working on it, man. So,
well, don't give anything away. Don't give anything away, just in case I don't want to get in trouble.
No, dude, we're really trying. We're really working on it, man. It's just we'll see what this record does. See if we can make some noise with this, and I know Larry Moran knows that we want to be on it, so we'll just we got a lot of people wanting us to do it, so we'll see, man. You know, it'll happen when it happens.
That's right. I got my fingers crossed. Todd, thank you so much. And if people want to find Roxy Blue, that's on Facebook, and you guys on Twitter,
on everything. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you go to our Facebook page, you can find everything you need to find.
I fucking love it. Todd Poole, everybody. Yeah.
Man, thanks a lot, Izzy, for having me, man. We appreciate you having us and talking about it. So
I appreciate it. This is a lot.
Call me anytime you want, man. Let's do it again.
Likewise, man. It was a lot of fun. I like this when I get to learn shit about people that I'm interviewing. Usually I know everything already, and this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, look forward to it. Hold tight there. I'll say goodbye to you off the air. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please do hit up all the social media and pre-order the new Roxy Blue record. I'm rather excited about it. Hit me up at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board. Of course, the show page is another effing podcast. And if you want to help the show out, you absolutely can. IzzyPresley@yahoo.com is your PayPal. Maybe people start sending me money. I don't have to drive Lyft 9 nights a fucking week. It would be glorious. Anyways, we'll see you on Thursday at 5 p.m. California time live with the Izzy Presley Show. I got a lot of more shit to bitch about. It is another fucking podcast. And don't forget, what I lack in talent, I make up for in cock.